In this Star Wars Outlaws news update video, I will be sharing with you some brand new character images and details, plus some new pieces of concept art as well. Before we do take a look at everything though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Outlaws. So to celebrate Star Wars Day, Ubisoft have updated their downloadable fan kit with some new concept art images, as well as an update to the visual guide for various characters to help fans create cosplays of those characters. Before we take a look at the new character renders and details, we shall start with the new pieces of concept art. So the first one is of a street on a Kyver, and we actually see this sort of street, this market stall street, inside of the story trailer, and it's very, very close to the concept art. You get the same mood, the weather, the eeriness of it, but also just how much Star Wars stuff is in this one image, and we see that in the game as well. You have Imperial officers intimidating the local market stall owners, then we have droids such as a pit droid, a bunch of different aliens, not just humanoid characters, but also creatures as well in and around the area. It just is really, really cool looking, and I cannot wait to visit a Kyver. Next up is a shot of Kay and Nyx overlooking the plains of Tashara. You have her speeder off to the right, and then a bunch of junk to the left. This could be, say, a hangar within the Trailblazer, her ship, but it could also just be sort of an example of what her home might have been. But again, this is just concept art. Next up is this piece of concept art of the Trailblazer, and this is very close to what we saw in the gameplay video last year when Kay leaves Tashara in the Trailblazer, and there is all this wreckage as well as Imperial stuff in orbit around the moon. Now we can see in the top left that there is an Imperial shipyard, as we've seen in the gameplay already, but what's very interesting to me are the types of ships that we can see in all of the wreckage, all of those destroyed ships. In case you don't know, we can see a long-beam cruiser, and this was a brand new High Republic era ship. On top of that, you can also see what appears to be a Class A modular freight transport, also from the High Republic era. And there was actually a ship of this model called the Legacy Run that was destroyed in the Great Hyperspace Disaster, and parts of it are scattered across the galaxy. Now, this was pointed out to me by a friend of mine. These ship pieces could mean nothing. They could just be there purely because it is concept art, or maybe they're actually there in the final game, which would be very interesting indeed. They also gave us this image of the Ashiga clan on Kijimi, but we've seen this image before. This isn't new, but we do actually have it to download in high quality now. Now let's take a look at the brand new character images and details. So let's start off with Jalen, who is going to be getting Kay involved in one of the biggest heists the galaxy has ever seen, and ND5 is his droid. So on this page, it says, a charming and well-connected outlaw, Jalen Vrax has been running heists and smuggling rings for years, independent of the major crime syndicates. Recognising potential in Kves, he offers her the job that could be her one chance at freedom. And we can also see that Jalen actually has heterochromia, which is slightly different eye colours. Then we get a look around of his character model with these renders here. I think people are quite a big fan of his design, and I do think his cape will also be a big hit. On to the main villain of the game, and this is Sliro. So he is running Zerek Besh, this crime syndicate, out of Canto Bight, specifically ran out of his mansion within the city. And that's pretty cool, to be honest. Sliro apparently regularly mingles with the rich and powerful in the city's casino district, using both charm and intimidation to gain their favour. And we can see that he has an unhealthy tone, this Canto Bight outfit, and wears a family ring. The fur on his outfit is of a Nuba, which is a creature that was originally concepted for Episode 1 The Phantom Menace, but was later used in the Clone Wars show and Rebels. Sliro hires Vale to hunt down Kves, and Vale is one of the most deadly bounty hunters within the galaxy. She's very familiar with the underworld according to this, and she has a bunch of gadgets at her disposal. We get a close-up look at her communicator, so it appears that she's actually missing her ear, and she also has prosthetics as fingers as well. You can clearly see from this image that she has lost her thumb, index finger, and middle finger. A very interesting detail is regarding Vale's blaster and her prosthetics. So we get a real nice close-up look at this golden blaster. It has a scope, but also it has 2 barrels as well, so it's a very interesting design. And there is some wording that states Vale's blaster is one of a kind and can only be controlled with her prosthetics. So if someone did happen to get their hands on it, literally, they wouldn't be able to use it because it does not work without Vale's prosthetics fingers. There is also a close-up at her armour that she wears under her coat as well, with her utility vest, holster and belt. I really enjoyed learning these details about these characters. Let me know down in the comment section below any of your thoughts you have on what I've shared in this video. And if you did enjoy this video, please do drop a like to help support the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Outlaws. And if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on the screen right now. And I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.